Hey, Dave Brother here, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about the most powerful currency, the most valuable currency of the 21st century. Now, if you think back to the previous videos, we've been talking about the different principles of virality and how to kind of engage people to a point that they're going to share your content with their friends and family. And there's a really important kind of gut human psychology behind this. It's ingrained in us from the days that we were defending ourselves and having to be to consider being parts of tribes and survive as kind of primal beings, right? It still exists in the back of our head, and it's a lot of the stuff that social media platforms and engagement engineers for social media platforms consider when it comes to creating engagement online, right? Really, really important psychology. So we're going to go into a lot more about these different psychological trigger points and stuff in the future throughout these various videos. But one thing which I really wanted to touch on here is social currency. And regards to social currency, there's a really interesting and easy way, in fact, to understand this. And it's the question that everybody asks themselves before they share anything on the internet. In fact, it's the question that people ask themselves before they pretty much do anything. Because as humans, we are hierarchical beings. Is hierarchical a word? It is now. We work in hierarchies, and anything that we do either increases or decreases our status within the pack, within the social circle, within wherever we are online. So there's something that people ask themselves before they share your content, which goes back to these kind of primal motives, which is if I'm going to paraphrase this slightly, which is, geez, the suspension. Does sharing this make me look good, smart, cool, etc.? The rear end can be swapped out for various different things, but essentially, does sharing this make me look good? Does it make me look smart? Does it make me look cool? Does it make me look ahead of the curve? When people come to share your content, the only reason they're going to share it is because they take ownership of it, and it either makes them look good or it doesn't. So in regards to actually making your content and making your products and making your ideas, the question to really consider is, how can I create content that actually helps people look cool by sharing? So if you think back to the last thing that you shared, it was probably something that you thought represented yourself. And this really is a really important concept because people take ownership of content before they share it. So before people actually hit that share button, they're actually taking ownership of it themselves. Now, there's a really interesting thing. Facebook used to do this, and I think they actually changed recently. But when you shared a piece of content from a page, so you shared this piece of content from the Viral by Design page, and somebody liked it or somebody commented on it, when you got that notification that came up in your the notification box thingy, then it wouldn't say Joe Blogs, whoever it is, your friend, liked the Viral by Design's post that you shared. It would say Joe Blogs liked your post, your photo, your whatever else. So Facebook and the engagement engineers at Facebook understood this concept that people take ownership of things before they share it. And it's the same kind of rush that people get when somebody likes their content. They get the same kind of rush when they like a photo that they shared, because it's kind of like it's part of this gut brain human psychology, which drives them to do things, and they get the self-gratification for having done so as well. So in regards to your content, every single time you create content, ads, videos, whatever it is, one question that you really need to keep at the forefront of your mind is, how is this helping people to look good? How is this helping people to look smart? How is this helping people to look creative? How can people take ownership of this for themselves? So, to take some ideas, one of the big principles, again, of virality we're going to talk about in the coming videos is practical value. And that's a really good way to make people look smart, cool, practical, etc. Because with practical value, we're providing, for example, BuzzFeed Nifty are the perfect example of this. A huge page, huge viral page, and all they share is videos of useful stuff around the house. Like, I don't know specifically what, because I don't really consume their content, but stuff like turning paper clips into handy wire organizers to go behind your desk. It's practical value. It's useless, and therefore it's useless. It's useful, and therefore by sharing it, by somebody sharing it, they're taking ownership. They're helping other people out. They look cool. They look smart. You know, there's probably things in there which are slightly more ingenuitive than just taking turning a paperclip into a wire organizer. There's really smart stuff. There's really like clever ideas around the house. Then people share it. Then they're the ones that look good for, you know, it kind of feels like they came up with the idea themselves. So if you start to consider how you can do this within your own niche, within your own business, and start to think about the industry that you're in, like how can you help people? How can you provide value to them that they can share with their friends and start to create this kind of viral exponential curve? Because, you know, along the way of doing this as well, you're capturing you capture not only the attention of people that you're helping directly, but you're also capturing the attention of the people that they're sharing the content to as well, if you remember this from one of the first videos that we did. So by creating a post which helps people look good, then you're capturing, this is the first person that sees your content, so this is your ad right here, or your video, whatever it is. Then the first person that sees this, that's great, you've helped them out, and they're very happy about it, they're going to share it with their friends. So this is going to make me look good because it's really useful. They share it to their friends. Fantastic. This makes this person look good for sharing it to friend A and friend B, and it also makes you look good to these people. With the added bonus, the added juice of this person's recommendation, it's all starting to get a little bit jazzy now, but you see what I mean. Then these people are going to share it as well to their friends. And guess what? They're going to get this wonderful interaction with you, which has the benefit of the authority of all of these people. So you start to create this crazy powerful network with content which is essentially just creating practical value. And you know, one of the most important things about virality, which we've covered already, you know, on a very kind of small point, is that it needs to actually be to be useful for you to sell stuff, right? So you may be wondering, like, okay, Dave, so how does this actually come into helping me sell my products, right? And essentially, when you've got this kind of, we forget about this guy for a little bit. When you've got this kind of like, if you see all the black marker on here as like influence and shares, when you start to get this like really kind of building up, these people share as well, and then we've got all these people seeing your content. And this is all recommendations, and they're all seeing your content, and they've got all of these black lines are recommendations, right? Apart from this, we ignore this one because that's your recommendation, which is, you know, holds less weight. If we're being completely honest, people are seeing content directly from you, then it's like, it's great, you know, but they've got to decide for themselves whether or not that's worthy of being shared. As soon as it hits stage 2, then that's great. You know, somebody's already vouched for it. Somebody's already, this guy or girl's already taken the lead and taken the risk and deciphered this is potentially something good to share. Then all of these other people, it makes it really easy for them to share, and they're all getting this trusted recommendation from their friends. So then what do you end up with? You end up with this huge pool of people who have a good relationship with you, and that if you were to come along, this is kind of getting a little bit ahead of the curve now. If you were to come along and create a pool of these people and go, okay, cool, I'm going to create a 60-second ad. That's my version of an ad right there. Almost photorealistic. I create one ad which targets all of these people, which is very, very easy to do in Facebook and on YouTube. Targets all these people and says, hey, you consume this content over here, why don't you come and take a look at our products that we got? How much more powerful is this advert going to be than if they hadn't seen this before? Because we've already got all this trust, we've already built this huge network of trust around our products, around our brand. Potentially we didn't even need to use any kind of call to action here. This is just practical value, just providing value and information to people. That when it comes to providing an actual offer or, like, you know, a suggestion to why don't you come and check out our stuff, then it's way, way, way more powerful, way, way more powerful. And we can keep doing this, you know, we can build huge audiences of people, like keep retargeting these people with more ads. And, you know, you're going to get like the organic uplift of the social media platforms. To a certain extent, you're going to start building your audience. And you know this concept of a rising tide lifts all ships. When we start to do this kind of advertising and engage social currency, then it becomes a lot more easy to actually provide offers to people. Even when it comes to paid advertising, your ad spend goes way further. When you've got this whole network of buzz and noise around your brand, you start to use paid advertising, then it's so much more powerful than if you've done none of this before. It's not to say you can't advertise without doing this, but it's just way more powerful. And you've got these real connections, this real network of real people who, when they see this ad, like this person sees this ad, which colour pen am I going to use now? Nobody knows. When they see this ad, they're like, oh, I remember this person. They were recommended to me by Julie, who shared this wonderful little piece of content over here that didn't ask anything of me. So you can see how this starts to get really powerful, and you can see how these concepts of sharing and social currency are so powerful when it comes to creating better quality of customers that have already had you vouched for by their friends, far less likely to complain, far more likely to want to conform with the crowd and shout about your brand. It starts to create this huge network of people, of excitement around your brand and around your business.